This is Max, also known as Rinhari Saki, and he's our in-house Breath of the Wild expert. And today he's back to react and break down more ridiculous clips. If you have any suggestions for Max or other future videos, make sure to drop them in the comments below. Alright, take it away, Max.
Awesome. So yeah, it looks like Paradox Guardian here is having a small scuffle with the Lionel. Nothing too crazy in the beginning, it's just, parries and stuff, but obviously the interesting part is the boomerang, where he throws it, and as he's returning, he's in the middle of a flurry rush and picks it up while he's in slow-mo and attacks with the boomerang. It's mostly about timing, because obviously, Lionels have different patterns and different attacks, so you just happen to, run away and come back, and that was the perfect timing for that boomerang to return. But obviously it just looks really cool because you're in slow-mo and you pick up a boomerang midair while you're in slow-mo and then you attack them with it. So yeah, it's obviously just another neat-looking trick you could do in Breath of the Wild. My bow spin. NANI?! Let's start from the very beginning here. Stasis Launching. Pretty common technique. It's one of the first launch techniques ever found in Breath of the Wild. It's pretty ancient now. There's a lot of better ways to get around to different places, but nonetheless, obviously it looks really cool. So basically, you're storing up the energy from a tree or any object and then hitting yourself with it while you're in midair to launch yourself. What's interesting about this hitting, obviously, is he's on top of it, and normally if he was just normally spinning with that axe, he would just spin around in a circle and nothing would happen. He wouldn't hit the tree, but he's doing a technique called bow spinning, which I coined, which is basically putting the weapon onto your back and making that the hitbox. So basically, now that axe is hitting from your backside, and that is a vertical hitbox. So that'll hit things above you and below you. Now he's storing up the energy for the stasis launch through the bow spin. So after that, he does a stasis launch, knocks over to the labyrinth, and then he does another technique called a skew clip. Another famous technique in speedrunning, because this lets you just literally phase through walls. I'm not going to go into the very specifics of how it works, again, because it's very complicated, but in short, by hitting your shield on a angled surface while you're shield surfing, that will save Link's position in strange ways. So that'll cause Link to pivot aggressively in different directions, and you can use this to force yourself into a wall. So he must have saved the skew before this clip was made, and then saved it specifically for this wall, because different skews work in different angles and different directions. He skews through the wall, skews through another wall to get inside of the dungeon, and then he grabs a medallion. So this is just a neat way to obviously, skip the whole getting lost in the labyrinth and all of that. This is just a way to just go straight to the medallion. You don't have to worry about all the guardians and stuff in the way. All right, little more humor added. I haven't seen this stuff in a long time either. So what he must have done here initially, he must have used some shock weapons or arrows to first disarm the bokoblins, or he might have snuck in to steal the weapons first and then just leave a whole bunch of korok leaves behind. And obviously a bokoblin's first instinct when they don't have a weapon is to search for a weapon. So the first closest thing is a leaf, and there's a pile of leaves, so they just grab the leaves. And it's just funny because they don't do any damage, so the best part is obviously it's a mosh pit because everybody's attacking each other accidentally. So the gust of wind obviously is friendly fire on, like it affects themselves as well, so everybody's just smacking each other with gusts of wind and leaves, and bokoblins are flying everywhere, and it's super fun. So if you want to try it yourself, it's super easy. You could just find a bokoblin camp and sneak in, steal their weapons, and then just put a whole bunch of leaves on the ground and then wake them up, and that's their first instinct, is to just pretty much have like a mosh pit with korok leaves. Alright, so this one is another skew clip with a little bit of humor added with it. Again, it's shield clipping, or skews, basically. He must have set it up before he went into the shrine. Another interesting thing about shrine skew clipping is that these shield skews, when you shield surf onto a hill to get that skew initially, it does matter the cardinal direction that you're facing. So if you're facing north, east, south, and west in the overworld, it matters in that direction on where you can clip into next. And in shrines, you do have to remember that direction, because the shrines also do have cardinal directions, and you don't really know until you mess around in the shrine of which direction things are facing. So he must have set this up outside the overworld in Hyrule Field and then gone into the shrine to do the skew clip. So it's interesting that people are utilizing this in different ways. Obviously shrines are pretty useful for that, because you can just go straight to the wall instead of doing the whole puzzle and worrying about all that. So
Alright, here's some homework for you guys. This one is very easy and simple, and won't take up too much of your time. Glider slam cancels are a great way to take on a pack of enemies from above without killing yourself in the process. Normally, when you see that juicy opportunity, you remember what happened last time and opt out of that. But by simply tapping X then Y quickly one after another before hitting the ground, you can get the benefit of both keeping your landing momentum and also negating fall damage. So again, it's simply tapping X then Y before hitting the ground. The timing is fairly lenient. It's an easy and safe way to start the fight against some unlucky foes. Thanks again for watching. If you want to see the previous episodes of Zelda Expert Reacts, we have the links in the description, and if there are any clips that you want me to watch, submit them to me by DM on Twitter @RinHarasaki. For everything else on Zelda Breath of the Wild, stay tuned right here on GameSpot.